Nearly 2 years after the mass shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School, a state grand jury has now found that many of the problems that led to those deaths remain across the state. That grand jury also finding that many schools and school districts actually manipulate the data they report to the state to make their schools seem even safer than they are. CBS 4's Jim DeFeeti talked about this report with Ryan Petty, whose 14-year-old daughter was killed in the Parkland shooting.
Fortunately, nothing here has changed. We saw evidence of data manipulation before Stoneman Douglas, and it continues today. You know, if I am responsible, if I work for one of these districts and I'm responsible for reporting this data, the thought, and after reading this grand jury report, the thought has to have crossed my mind, what do I look like in an orange jumpsuit? This is serious. They have got to take this seriously.
You're talking about administrators.
Administrators in these districts need to take this seriously. And if they're manipulating data, which I think it's pretty clear that they reclassify the incidents so that they don't have to report them to CESAR, that is unfortunately, in my mind, I think the jury is sending the grand jury is sending a clear signal that there will be indictments forthcoming.
That's what that is very much what they're talking about, is that any school district that takes part in this, you know, those individuals responsible will be held accountable under law and could be arrested.
And it doesn't just mean what happened at Stoneman Douglas could happen again, but these are environments where our teachers don't feel safe to teach. Our students can't learn. If there's a disruption in a classroom where a student becomes violent, none of the children in that classroom have an opportunity to learn that day. And I think we have to take that seriously in Florida.
So they talk a lot about problems within Broward, but I don't want to leave Miami-Dade out, because Miami-Dade has its own sort of section in here about data manipulation, and I'll just sort of look at some of this. Data manipulation can also occur at the district level. What they were saying in Broward is that it's happening school to school to school. In Dade County, they're saying it's a district-wide policy to manipulate the data. That essentially, a recent example come to us from Miami-Dade School District. In 2014-15 school year, more than 5,000 fights were reported in Miami-Dade schools. But by 2015-16, the very next year, the number went down to 311. And the grand jury asked sarcastically, was there some innovative program to make it drop from 5,311? No. What Miami-Dade did was they reclassified what constitutes a fight or a serious incident. They just stopped counting certain things entirely and stopped reporting them. It wasn't that the problems went away. They just erased them from the records.
Yeah, and that's clearly a violation of certainly the intent of the legislation, the intent of reporting. Look, parents deserve to know what's going on in their schools, and if we have administrators artificially manipulating data, reclassifying incidents so that their schools or their districts look better, again, I think the grand jury was very clear. Indictments will be forthcoming.
Again, I'm going to quote from the report. This example that they're talking about with regard to Miami-Dade, this example underscores the fact that the institutional incentives to find every way possible to underreport and manipulate this data appear to be irresistible. And one of the things the grand jury is saying is maybe there needs to be more of an outside third-party checking on these school districts. Give more power to the State Department of Education. Let them come in and supervise, or at least vet what the numbers are and the process to make sure it's being done the same across counties and making sure that the information is reliable. I know that school districts can't stand stuff coming from Tallahassee and the Department of Education, but it seems to me that we can't trust the local school districts any longer.
The incentives are in the wrong direction for our school districts and for those local administrators. Principals want to have a safe school. They want to report that they have a safe school. So there's incentives, either spoken or unspoken, right, that drive them towards underreporting, and districts are no different. And I think at a minimum, the state needs to have audit capabilities and some sanctioning power. As the grand jury noted, if there aren't sanctions, if there aren't teeth in the audit, then they'll find ways to manipulate the data.
Such an important conversation, and you can see much more of Jim's conversation with Ryan Petty this Sunday morning at 8:30 right here on Facing South Florida.